And so that would be another sign of change for you, that change was occurring. Say a little more about that in terms of what you'd see in these students.
That they would
in a
start
culture.
more than anything, I'm looking for kids to be able to see themselves in the society, like they see themselves as part of our society. And that's something else I think I'm looking for as a change, is that the way immigrant populations are dealt with and perceived would be different. I think that it's that's wretched the way we have an illegal immigration problem. And my thought is, and that comes from like my question about what type of diplomacy are we going to have with, developing nations. Mexico, as a neighbor, we deal with Mexico completely differently than the way we deal with Canada. It's deplorable, and I guess I'd like to see some equity, and so I'm curious to see what our policy is going to be on. I'm waiting to see what our policy is going to be on immigration, because, there, like, I think it was like, I don't even know how many years ago, there was like a joke that they were going to build like a friendship ditch, and it was like a joke between them. It was like one of those like really punny movies. I don't remember which one it was, but they were going to build along the border with the U.S. They're going to build a friendship ditch, and it was like, it was ludicrous. I mean, it was totally hypothetical, and it was just a joke. And then now we have and now we have a wall. I'm like, okay, and that's embarrassing. I mean, do you really? I mean, so you're going to build an 8-foot wall? Okay, so they'll build a 10-foot ladder. The issue is not about the wall or a ditch. It's about the economic structures that are between the two countries, and are we going to change those so that there's an even playing field? And then there's also the fact that Mexican government has been fairly corrupt for a long time, and so I'm just hoping that there's some better diplomacy there. So I'm also looking for that. And I don't think it's right to. I think it's wrong that we walk into a pub, we run, and everybody, like, they literally put together. I mean, I've heard horrible stories where they like take all the Mexicans and they check their paperwork on all of them. But I'm like, did they check everyone's paperwork in the whole bar, or do they just check the Mexicans? Or anyone that's perceived as being Mexican? Because I'm often perceived as being Mexican and I'm not. And so, I actually have been detained. I've been held at the the Canadian border. And it was prior to 9/11. And they told me that that they weren't going to let me through because I didn't have my passport. I said, I'm from Oregon. I don't need my passport. I'm only supposed to have my driver's license. And they held me. I'd taken the train up. I'd gone to a national teaching conference. And on the way back, they sent us back by bus. I didn't know Amtrak did that. So I wound up on a bus. They took everyone off the bus. We had to get there, they checked everybody. Everybody wound up back on the bus, and I'm still standing there.